Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Maitreya said, O Vidura, the 4 millenniums are called the Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali Yugas. The aggregate number of years of all these combined is equal to 12,000 years of the demigods. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The years of the demigods are equal to 360 years of humankind. As we clarified in the subsequent verses, 12,000 of the demigods' years, including the transitional periods, which are called Yugasandhyas, comprise the total of the aforementioned 4 millenniums. Thus, the aggregate of the above mentioned 4 millenniums is 43,20,000 years. Thus, in the purport. So, here Maitreya is describing about the duration of the planets of this world. The duration of this material universe is limited and is manifested in the cycles of kalpa. A kalpa is 1 day of Lord Brahma. So in the 8th chapter, Krishna says, Sahasrayuga paryantam harat brahmano vidu. Ratriya sahasrantam teyoratra vidochanaha. The 1,000 cycles of yuga consist of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Is a 1 day of Brahma. So one kalpa is a 1 day of Brahma. The same is a night, 1,000 yuga cycle. So 2 kalpas are equal to 1 full day of Brahma. Each yuga cycle, each yuga cycle is 43,20,000 years multiplied into 1,000. It's equal to 432 crores of years. It's a 1 daytime of Brahma, daytime, 12 hours. Similarly, 432 crores of years also night time. Put together, 864 crores of years is the 1 full day, 24 hours of Brahma. Like that, Brahma will live for 100 years. It's equal to 3.11 trillion and 40 billion. Something is there. 311 or 3.11? 311 trillion and 40 billion years is the lifetime of Brahma. Even such a long duration of Brahma is fraction of second from the viewpoint of eternity. So this kalpa, in one way, it's again described, the one more definition of kalpa, Mahakalpa, Vikalpa and Kalpa. What is Mahakalpa? The Lord first assumes the first Purusha incarnation as Mahavishnu or Karno, the Kashaya Vishnu. And he creates the material elements. So creation of Mahavishnu, of all the material elements, is called Mahakalpa. The creation of Lord Brahma by Garbhoda Kashaya Vishnu is called Vikalpa. And the creation of all the jivas, other things, all the material bodies by Lord Brahma is called Kalpa. Kalpa's duration of Brahma, the same time Lord Brahma, all the created beings, means Kalpa means creation by Lord Brahma. It's also called Kalpa. In Satya Yuga, generally situated in the mode of goodness, all people, everyone was situated in the mode of goodness. People were peaceful. And everyone had a Brahminical qualification. But it's gradually declining. The whole Dharma, particularly the principle of religions, consists of Taposhaucham, Daya Satyam. During Satya Yuga, the religious principles were standing on Taposhaucham, Daya Satyam. Namely, austerity, cleanliness, Tapa Shaucham, Daya, mercy, and Satyam, truthfulness. As a result, there was peace in the mind of people, religious, virtue, wisdom. The duration of life was long in the Satya Yuga. Almost 17 lakh 28,000 years is the duration of Satya Yuga. But as the age progresses, all the qualities, good qualities, started diminishing. In this Kali Yuga, it has become 1/4. Treta Yuga of Dwapara Yuga, 1/3. And Kali Yuga, 1/4. Because there are 4 things which destroys the religious principles. Pride, excessive pride destroys the austerity. Excessive attachment for women destroys cleanliness. And intoxication destroys, what is it? Next, taposhocham daya, mercy. So, as a result, all the qualities started diminishing. Shukadeva Goswami explained to Parikshit Maharaj about the symptoms of the Kali Yuga. What is it? Symptoms. Tadaschano Dhyanadharma Satyam Shaucham Kshamadaya Kalina Balirajan Ayu Balams, something I forgot. Says during this Kali Yuga, due to the influence of Kali Yuga, Dharma, Satya, Shaucha, and Daya, and Ayu, duration of life, mercy, tolerance, smriti, memory, all will diminish day by day because of progress of Kali Yuga. In this age of Kali, the so-called people, men and women, live together superficially due to bodily attraction. And the person will be considered as a Brahmana by wearing 20 paisa worth sacred thread. If somebody is wearing sacred thread, is called a Brahmana. And the person who is expert in cheating others will become good businessman. If he knows how to cheat others, he will achieve many milestones in his business. And the people who use jugglery of words will be considered as a great scholar, although he is fool number 1. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur nicely explained this. There was a Brahmana. He was very much proud of his position as a scholarly Brahmana, because he is coming in the parampara of their forefathers and all very scholarly, the Shastras. And he also was thinking, a Brahmana, great Brahmanas, very scholar. But as the age passed, many degradations started happening. The so-called Brahmanas, they stopped studying Vedas properly. They could not understand the purport of Vedas. Why? Because indulged in many activities. Playing chess, dice, watching IPL. So they started indulging some kind of activities. As a result, they lost all the things. And people go to some householder, some rich householder is there, a Vaishya or Kshatriya. This Brahmanas would go for deity worship. And they will start chanting all inaccurate mantras, wrong mantras, because householders, they don't know anything. So whatever they chant, they thought, big scholars chanting various mantras. They don't know what kind of mantras these Brahmanas are chanting. So in this way, they were cheating people. And they were claiming they are great scholars because of parampara. My forefathers, others, all are scholars. There is one person among the villagers He is little intelligent person. He understood these fellows are bogus, cheating people. He want to somehow expose them. So he invited one true Brahmana scholar, real scholar of the Shastra, so that he will easily expose his false bogus Brahmanas. Invited, the real scholar came, the news spread in the village. The so-called scholars, the Brahmanas, are filled with anxiety. Will be exposed tomorrow when we meet the true Brahmana, scholarly Brahmana. So all of them joined together, went to one leader of this village called Dada Thakur. He also was very proud of his scholarly distinction in Shastras, although he also full number one. And all the people went to this Dada Thakur and offered obeisance to chief that tomorrow there will be a debate. The scholar, real scholars come here and we'll all be exposed what to do now. So filled with anxiety, not able to sleep. So the Dada Thakur said, don't worry, I'll take care. Because all the ancestors, the scholarly things is running in my blood. I will defeat him tomorrow. I'll speak in Sanskrit tomorrow. He will run away. He cannot stand in front of me. Don't worry, go and take rest peacefully. So all the Brahmanas went home. Next day, the Rasa assembly was organized. This Dada Thakur was sitting on the very elevated chair. The Brahmana, the real scholar, came and was standing and said, asked, Kastam, introduce yourself. In Sanskrit, Kastam means, he has to introduce who is disciple, I will learn, just he has to introduce himself. Kastam, introduce yourself. This Dada Thakur did not know what is Kastam. Kastam, Gastam, Natastam, Putastam, Tatastam, Matastam, something was speaking like this. The real scholar thought, it's not ordinary fool, it's a mega fool. He thought, if I stand any longer here, I'll forget my Sanskrit. He offered obeisance from far away, said, boy, ran away. All the village Brahmanas thought, see, our Guruji spoke fluent Sanskrit. This person is not able to withstand. He is not able to counter argue. He ran away. So no one is there like our Dada Thakur in this world. Therefore, he is called Jagat Guru. So although fool number one, maybe people call us Jagat Guru in this world because of using all this jugglery of words. Even 500 years ago, although people come in the family of qualified Brahmana, due to the degradation of age, they are corrupted. Once Haridas Thakur was staying in one devotee's house called Balaram Acharya. Balaram Acharya was a priest of this Govardhana and Hiranya Majumdars. And the Haridas Thakur was staying in Balaram Acharya's house. At that time, Raghunath Dasa was a small boy, a very young boy. So Balaram Acharya, because he was the family priest of Majumdars, he would bring the boy to meet Haridas Thakur. So every day would meet Haridas Thakur and discuss. He got the mercy of Haridas Thakur. As a result, he could meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and took shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One day, Balaram Acharya invited Haridas Thakur to the assembly of this Majumdar, Govardhana and Hiranya Majumdars. He went to the assembly. All the people, the scholars were assembled there. Panditjis. So at the time, all of them offered obeisance to Haridas Thakur because he was an elevated person. Even Govardhana and Hiranya offered the obeisance to Haridas Thakur. Then everyone started glorifying Haridas Thakur. How great Haridas Thakur is. He's chanting every day. 3 lakhs names of Lord. So great. So everyone started glorifying Haridas Thakur for chanting the holy name continuously. So the Brahmanas, scholars, they started saying about the glories of chanting the holy name. Simply by chanting the holy name, one can become free from sinful reaction. Some Brahmanas started saying, by chanting the holy name, one can attain liberation. Haridas Thakur protested, no, this is not the result of chanting the holy name. This is not the result of chanting the holy name. If one chants the holy name without any offense, he will get Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema. This so-called liberation, the so-called free from sinful reaction are simply byproducts of chanting the holy name. It's not the actual result of chanting the holy name. If anyone chants even before reaching the offenseless stage, not even offenseless stage, even before reaching the stage, this all things will vanish. One can even get liberation. Even before reaching offenseless stage of the holy name. And he was giving example, nice example. Generally, thief will enter the home to loot the things during night time, midnight, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, but not after 5 o'clock. Why? Although sun has not arisen, nevertheless, the fear of thieves will not be there. They will run away. Before sun arises, it immediately dissipates the darkness. Sun arises, for example, at 6 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 5:30, we can see light. There is no question of fear of thieves. Similarly, the chanting the holy name offenselessly means sun has arisen. So before sun arises, before reaching the stage of offenseless stage, one is freed from all sinful reactions. And one is already on the platform of liberation. So these are not actual benefit of chanting the holy name. Automatically one will attain liberation even before attaining that stage. So there was one Brahmana, Gopala Chakravarti, immediately refused the statement of Haridas Thakur. He started saying to other people, see this sentimental devotee, emotional devotee. Actually, a person after millions of lifetime, a person who is in knowledge may attain liberation. But he is saying simply by chanting the holy name one attain liberation. It's simply sentimental words. Emotional person. Haridas Thakur said, why are you doubtful about the statement? Shastra says, simply even before reaching the stage of offenseless, one attain liberation. What's the doubt? This person said. If one does not get liberation by chanting the holy name, I'll cut your nose. Haridas Thakur said, yes, I'll take up the challenge. If one does not attain liberation by chanting the holy name even before reaching the stage of offenseless, I'll certainly cut my nose off. So heated discussion was taking place. All the people were shocked to hear this from this Gopala Chakravarti. Everyone started blasting. Even the Gauranga and Hiranya blasted this Gopala Chakravarti. You fool, you are playing with fire. How can you offend Haridas Thakur? You will get only inauspicious life. So he was dismissed from the service. He was sent out. So at that time, all the people, particularly Gauranga and Hiranya, offered obeisance to Haridas Thakur and begged apology for having called him and insulted by one of the employee. So he said, Haridas Thakur said, don't worry. Don't take it seriously. Actually, this Brahmana is also not at fault, because he wants to understand everything through his logic and scholarship. But one cannot understand the glories of holy name by logic and argument. So after saying that, you all of you go and take rest at home. So Haridas Thakur left. Within 3 days, the so-called Brahmana was afflicted with leprosy and all his finger, all withered away, even nose melted away. So although a devotee like Haridas Thakur can tolerate the insults of anyone personally, but Lord never tolerates insult of a pure devotee like Haridas Thakur. When Haridas Thakur heard this Brahmana was attacked with leprosy, he felt very much aggrieved. He did not feel happy. You challenged me, no, you are suffering. Did not feel like that. He felt compassion for that Gopal Chakravarti. Later, in fact, he delivered him also, Gopala Chakravarti. So, why in this age of Kali, all the qualities started diminishing one by one? What is the cause? Because we can hear, we can see in the Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj was touring the world, at the time he saw a person, low class person, Shudra, who was dressed like a king, and he was beating a cow and a bull. The moment Parikshit Maharaj saw this, immediately got down from chariot and took his sword. He was about to kill. How dare you hurt innocent jivas? So he took the sword and was about to kill. Kali Purusha understood, my life is in danger. Immediately surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj. Oh Maharaj, king, please protect me. I am your subject. Please save me. So because he surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj, don't worry. Don't worry for your life. No? Get out of my kingdom. Go out. Don't be here. That Kali Purusha said, my dear king, where can I go? Everything belongs to you. I cannot go out of your kingdom. I am also your subject. Give me some place to stay. At the time, Parikshit Maharaj gave 4 places. Dyutam Panam Striyasuna Yatra Adharma Chaturvida. Dyutam Panam Striyasuna Yatra Adharma Chaturvida. Go to these 4 places where there is a meat eating, where is intoxication, and what is it? Prostitution, then gambling. Go to this place. So Parikshit awarded these 4 places to Kali Purusha to go and stay happily there. Why did Prabhupada set up these 4 regulative principles? Not whimsically. He did not set up 3 or 5, 4. Why? Because based on this statement of Srimad Bhagavatam. Wherever this 4 adharma, irreligious principles, this is called Dyutam Panam Striyasuna is irreligious principles. Wherever this irreligious principle is there, Kali Purusha resides there. So in order to keep the Kali Purusha far away, Prabhupada has set up a system of following the 4 regulative principles and chant 16 rounds. By doing this, one can keep Kali Purusha far away. If there is some short circuit in these principles, then one cannot make advancement. This Kali Purusha, my dear king, it's very difficult to find all the 4 places in your kingdom. Please give some extra place. Parikshit Maharaj said, okay, go to the place where was there a gold. Excessive gold is there, go and reside. Because wherever there is a gold, excessive gold, there is a lust, greediness, avarice, excessive greediness. This will destroy all the good qualities of people. This greediness, lust will destroy all the good qualities of people. There was one Brahmana Krishna explains in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. One Brahmana called Avanti Brahmana, although he was insulted, humiliated, cheated, deprived of his position, being spat on, polluted with urine, nevertheless he kept his intelligence safe on the spiritual platform. He explained who was that Avanti Brahmana. This Brahmana, he lived in the place called Avanti. He was a business person. He was gifted with wealth. He was having a lot of money. But he was short-tempered, lusty, greedy, miser. He would not spend any money even for his personal life. He want to keep the money, save more and more. He would not eat properly, he would not dress properly, he would not maintain the friends, relatives, family members properly. Even some guest comes to his house, he would not give them proper food. He would not even talk, because if I talk, guest will stay more time, then we have to spend money. So would not spend 1 paisa, would not talk to even family members. He would not give any cloth to the wife, children, grandchildren. Every day he would go and open the cupboard and see how much money is there, close and come. Neither he enjoyed nor he used the money for others. And as a grahastha, one has to perform 5 kinds of sacrifice every day. He thought, why should I do simply waste of money? Why should I do sacrifice and all? He did not even please demigods, although he was gifted with so much wealth by the demigods. But he did not do any kinds of sacrifice. As a result, demigods were unhappy, displeased with him. And gradually he lost all the pieties. All the good, pious bank balance he lost. As a result, his wealth was looted by some income tax officers, some police, neighbors, thieves. Finally, his bank balance became zero. Bank balance became zero. No money. He was very old. Throughout the life he was working very hard, but never enjoyed. Now, practically his bank balance zero. Then family people thought, what is the use of keeping this old person? Anyway, he never maintained us. All of them joined together, threw him out of the house, closed the door. He was sitting all alone on the road. Nobody is there, very old. Old age. He saw my whole year I worked hard. I have not enjoyed any money for my personal thing. Nor I used money for giving charity. I have not used anything for any purpose. Now I became very old. So he started crying, his voice was choked up. And he felt some kind of renunciation. And he started saying that as long as the person who is healthy, who has got money, he'll use that health for achieving perfection. Whatever money is there used for giving charity, building temple to achieve perfection. But now I am old, I don't have health or wealth. What can I do? What is the use of a wealth when one is under the clutches of death? So throughout the life I worked very hard, but no use. I was crying, tears started flowing from his eyes. Then he thought, actually Lord is pleased with me. Supreme Lord is pleased with me. Therefore he brought me to the stage to undergo the feeling of renunciation. Okay, what is need to worry? Whatever has gone, gone. Now whatever time is available now, let me use the time to practice austerity, to practice in devotional service. So having concluded, he left everything. He started wandering on the earth, accepting sannyasa. He started wandering on the earth and would go, beg food, get two chapati and eat, remain satisfied, and he was practicing spiritual life. In due course of time, he conquered all the senses. He became Goswami. Conquered all his senses. He achieved the exalted position. But the people, the rowdies, foolish people, could not understand about his exalted position. This person would carry some cloth in his danda and take kamandalu, a water pot. These rooks and thieves would go and take away the cloth of the sannyasi, because he would have only two pair. One will be wearing, one will be after washing he'll put. The people would take the cloth, and this Brahmana would go and ask, this person would throw the cloth to another person, a bundle. So when you go and ask, he would throw it to somebody else. He was neglected, humiliated. And sometimes some people will come and to pass foliar to his face when he was sitting. And he would go and beg some chapati, would bring, and when he was about to eat, somebody will come and to pass urine on his face, on the food. Somebody would come and spit on the face of this Brahmana. When you would undergo Mauna Vrata, silence, people would come and to force him to speak. If he would not speak, they would take his danda, would beat him. And some people would come and chain him, make a captive. And when he would walk, they would drag him. Just children and all, no? Will tie some dog, and the dog goes, they'll pull the dog. They get some kind of pleasure. So the Brahmana was insulted, humiliated, polluted with urine. Although he was undergoing all these things, turmoils, sufferings, he understood all the things. Everyone has to undergo threefold suffering: Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Devika. These sufferings are given by Adi Bhautika, inflicted by other living entities. It's allotted quota for me. At the time, he offered wonderful prayers. Nayam janome na sukho dukkha hetu na devadatma griha karma kala manaparam karanam amananti samsara chakra parivartetyat. Nayam janome na sukho dukkha hetu. These people are not the cause of my happiness and distress. We generally blame. When we are in distress, we blame this person is the cause of my suffering. We blame somebody. But he says, these people are not the cause of my happiness and distress. Neither Nayam Janome na Sukho Dukkha Hetu na Devatatma. Deva is not the cause. Griha. Sometimes when people are suffering, they'll go to astrologer. So he'll ask question, why I am suffering? The astrologer say, you are under the influence of Shani Bhagavan. Even that is not the cause of my suffering. Then what is the cause of my suffering? Manaparam karam amananti. Mind is the cause of happiness and distress. In generally, we get some suffering due to so many reasons. The sufferings will be only actually 10%. The 90% is suffering given by mind. It will amplify the suffering. So, manaparam karam amananti. Mind is the cause of all these things. All senses are under the control of mind. But mind is never under the control of anyone. It's like a powerful personality. Now, let me bring my mind under my control. How to bring the mind under one's control? Let me engage my mind in the service of the Lord. Etam sa astaya paratmanishtam adhyastam purvatamir maharashivi hamtarishyami dhurantaparam tamo mukundanev nishayva. I can cross over the ocean of insurmountable ocean of material existence simply by fixing my mind upon the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda. This was approved by all the previous acharyas. Let me follow in the footsteps of my previous acharyas. Having concluded, without blaming anybody, this Avanti Brahmana started rendering devotional service unto Krishna by being firmly fixed in the lotus feet of Krishna. In this way, he went back home, back to Godhead. So this gold brings excessive greed, attachment, lust. Although this Kali Yuga was filled with the full of all these negative qualities, nevertheless, those who are advanced in knowledge worship Kali Yuga. Why? It is said in the Bhagavatam, Kalim Sabhajayanti Arya Gunana Sarabhagina Yatra Sankitane Eva Sarvaswartu Abhilapyate. In this age of Kali, those who are advanced in knowledge, Arya means one knows the values of life. Those who are advanced in knowledge called Aryas. They appreciate the values of Kali. Why? Because they worship the Kali, although it's filled with full of faults. The reason, one can achieve all perfection simply by Sankirtana. Yatra Sankirtana eva. Simply by performing Sankirtana, one can achieve all perfection. There is no other higher gain for the living entity in this material world who are rotting in this world, rotating from one planet to another planet, from one body to another body, other than chanting the holy name of Lord, Sankirtana, movement of Lord Chaitanya. This is the greatest gain for the living entities in this Kali Yuga. There is no other greater gain than this Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If one takes shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is sure to achieve complete perfection. The sages of Naimisharanya asked Suta Goswami 6 questions. The last question was, the 6th question of Shaunaka Rishi to Suta Goswami is, Lord Supreme Person of Godhead, Krishna, has left for his own abode. Whom did the religious principles can take shelter? Whom the religious principles can take shelter now? So Lord is not there. Where to go? Get the knowledge. On the time, Suta Goswami answered in the 3rd chapter, those who have, as soon as Krishna Swadhamano Upagade Dharmajnai Sah Kalaunashta Drishamaya Puranarko Adunotitaha. Krishna has left for his abode, his own abode, along with religion. Those who are bereft of knowledge due to the dense darkness of Kali Yuga can get light from this Bhagavad Purana. The moment Krishna left the earth planet, immediately the Bhagavatam was born. So those who are bereft of vision due to the darkness in this age of Kali can get light from this Purana. The conclusion of this Bhagavad Purana was given by Suta Goswami, the last verse of the last chapter of the last canto. What is the verse? Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Pava Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamana Tam Namami Harim Param. Suta Goswami concludes the Bhagavatam with this verse, the final verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya. I offer my obeisances unto this Nama Sankirtana, which destroys all our sinful reaction and relieves all the suffering. So although this Kali Yuga was filled with the full of faulty things, nevertheless one can achieve all perfection by chanting this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this Kali Yuga gradually diminishing day by day, all the good qualities of men will diminish, all the impious qualities will increase. All the impious qualities will increase. So at the end of this Kali Yuga, when all the kings will become no better than bandits, rooks and thieves, loot the people. So when the situation became very worse, At the time, Lord will appear as Kalki and sit on his horse called Devadatta, take his sword and kill all the bandits, then the case of kings, kill all the people and re-establish next Satya Yuga. At the time, the next Satya Yuga, the two personalities are still living in this place, particularly in Himalaya. One is Maru, who is the 20th descendant of Lord Ramachandra, and second is Devapi, brother of Shantanu. They are still living in the place called Kalapagrama. These two personalities will receive knowledge from the Lord himself directly. Then they begin to rule the world as Lord has directed. Both Maru and Devapi will begin the Satya Yuga. In this way, Satya, Treta, Dwapara will continue. So that is the purport of this. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.